So I hear the Omega Speedmaster Professional is being replaced, but is it really? I'm Andy and welcome to the English Watch. Lovely. So before we get started, don't come to this video looking for an in-depth analysis of the Speedmaster and the history behind it. There's plenty of other great references out there. Go to Fratello Watches, Hodinkee, Revolution, there's lots out there, so go and check those out and I'll put some links in at the end. I've certainly mined those sites for some of the information I've included in this video. Anyway, let's get into it. The Speedmaster is probably Omega's most iconic watch. It's their Submariner, their Navitimer, and one the collectors tend to go to. It's one of the monument watches in any collection. Word on the street, and I've had this verified by my own local AD, is the Moonwatch is about to be discontinued. In fact, stocks of the current version are already running low, with Omega not attending Baselworld since 2018 and their 2019 Time to Move event being a closed shop to dealers only. Omega have drip-fed their recent releases into the market using social media mainly, starting with the Ed White Special Edition with the 321 caliber, the Bond No Time to Die Seamaster in titanium, and various Tokyo 2020 Olympic versions, which are clearly going to be collector's editions going forward now that the games have been postponed. So it's unclear what the release cadence will be for this new watch or this variant of this watch. With the window of the Apollo anniversaries quickly diminishing and time shortening, the upcoming Apollo 13 anniversary next month may give us a glimpse into what Omega have got planned for us in the future. Perhaps another Snoopy, you never know. So looking into the forums, I see plenty of questions around a potential replacement for this model. And questions like, should I buy one now? Will Omega actually replace it? And how do they deal with the flight certified by NASA business if they replace this model? All good questions. So let's look into this a bit more closely. Omega have been updating their model range recently to include the George Daniels designed coaxial escapement. Over the last 5 years, Omega have started to move away from the cost certified chronometer rating to the new MATAS certification, which is an in-house certification with the Swiss Institute of Horology, and these watches are now being badged Master Coaxial Chronometers. They come with a high level of anti-magnetism, in fact amagnetism if you believe the hype, and as an engineer this is one of the things that draw me to Omega. This is typical of Omega, that continuous improvement model, that always seeking perfection, moving the product forward, moving the designs forwards, is something that really appeals to me. This is very different to the Rolex model of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So what does this mean to the Moonwatch? Well, if you look at the range, Omega have introduced a number of variants over the years that look like a Moonwatch and are being sold as a Moonwatch. And these are typically with the Seamaster style twisted lug design that harks back to the 50s, and it still continues through with the current Moonwatch Professional and the Seamasters. But these are tenuous links and are more about aligning marketing within the range and calling everything a Moonwatch. Works for Omega but maybe confuses the customers out there, and it may explain why some of these are quite difficult to push on. In fact, these models are closer to the Speedmaster racing versions rather than the Speedmaster Professional version or the Moonwatch, and have column wheel automatic 9900 caliber movements inside them, with the moon phase replacing the date version on the racing. The 44mm moon phase and ceramic dark side of the moon versions are all classed as coaxial master chronometers and come with the MATAS testing certification. The runt of the litter is the Apollo 8 Dark Side of the Moon, released in 2018 at Baselworld, and this commemorated the 50th anniversary of the first orbit of the Moon. This version stands out amongst the other ceramic versions as it still contains the 1861 movement, albeit highly decorated and called 1869. It has laser ablated surfaces on the bridges and it is finished to a very high quality. This is currently my favourite Moonwatch as it combines levels of technology and in the materials a wonderfully decorated traditional movement. But as we'll come to see, this may be a watch to watch. In 2019, the 50th anniversary of the moon landing sprung a number of special editions and new watches. The platinum case with the meteorite subdials, with return of the 321 movement, the full 18 karat gold moonshine with red ceramic bezel to commemorate the success of Apollo 11 and worn famously by Buzz Aldrin on any junket he ever goes on for Omega. The Apollo 11 50th anniversary with highlights of moonshine gold, and buzzes famous butt as he descends the ladder onto the moon surface on the constant seconds dial. Now, looking at these watches, there are a few clues of what Omega may do to the Speedmaster Moonwatch going forwards. Two of them came with the new Master Chronometer 3861 movement, an evolution of the manual wind 1861, but with a new coaxial escapement. It's almost certain if they do anything, it'll be the introduction of this movement into the new Speedmaster Professional. Now, they all have a ceramic bezel and they have the dot over 90 on the tachymeter. This is a feature of the early 321 versions that did go to the moon, and it's one of the features that many of the collectors will look for in some of the old classic Speedmasters. In subsequent models with 861 and 1861 movements, the dot for some reason moved to about the 2 o'clock on the 90 around the tachymeter. So this clearly differentiated between the classic Speedmaster and the more modern versions, and I think a move back would be significant. So the Apollo 11 also comes fitted now with the old traditional 3-link bracelet with the wider middle piece, very similar to the one fitted to the Trinity models, and very similar to the Aquaterra bracelet today. Now, this design has also been fitted on the Ed White 321 movement watch, albeit in a smaller case, and it may be a possible method to allow Omega to differentiate between the old version and the new version. Now, the modern Moonwatch has the modern logo at the 12 o'clock. These new editions have the old version, and I wouldn't be surprised if Omega didn't change that to make the watch a bit more traditional in feel and look. A nod to the past like this may help align this watch to some of the more special editions and make it more of a heritage piece than something that's a bit more modern that's been evolved over time. And obviously this would come with the corresponding price hike. So summing up then, the Speedmaster Professional has been in use at NASA for over 50 years and has seen plenty of action on the moon, in EVAs, up in space shuttle missions, and throughout this time Omega has continued to tinker with this watch, and none of these changes make this watch any less special, and it's still one of the last true tool watches in service today. And even though today you'll see astronauts wearing different watches from different brands, and there'll always be stories about Omega milking it, or early astronauts preferring Rolexes. I mean, who remembers the Bulliver Moonwatch with its surprise appearance on the Apollo 15 mission in 1971, when astronaut David Scott's Speedmaster accidentally had an accident? So luckily he had a Bulliver at hand to stand by. Was that deliberate or was it by chance? We'll never know. But whatever, to me there's only one Moonwatch, and it's a Speedmaster Professional. Now, getting back to whether you should buy one now or not, let's consider the following. So we've established that Omega have continued to update the Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch over time. So a new movement isn't an issue, and as I said, it's highly likely that this will be part of a re-edition. Clearly it won't have had any time in space yet, and there's still plenty of space to go and explore. Will most casual buyers really care what movement's in the watch? Probably not. And will they just be drawn into the story like me and anyone else that's bought an 1861 movement? We didn't know these things before we bought it. This is the wonderful thing about the Speedmaster. You find out so much more about the watch after you've bought it, as you dig deeper and deeper and deeper. It's only since I've had my watch that I've discovered this wonderful treasure trove of information and history behind it. But what else could change, and how will they do some kind of visual differentiation between the current watch and the new watch? Looking at some of the pre-1861 models with the 861 movement, there are some things that are different. There's very few things on the dial that are different, other than maybe the Omega logo. But areas such as the bracelet and the clasp, there's clearly been a move from the old to the new, so you definitely know that you're getting something different. So I definitely think that the new version will have the Apollo 11 style bracelet, and it'd be really nice if Omega threw in an adjustable bracelet, unlike this one where you have to have some kind of strap adjustment tool to move between the two dots. I think we need an on-the-fly bracelet adjuster just like in the Seamaster, and that would be perfect. Please Omega, make it happen. Now, going back to the Apollo 8, now this is the one that I think is in danger of running out. Now, it uses a very highly decorated version of the 1861 movement, so unless they're updating it to the 3861 coaxial movement and going to the trouble of redecorating it all, unless it just fits in underneath what's already there, it's highly unlikely they'll continue this model past the run out of this movement. So is it a future classic? Well, it's difficult to shift, as my AD's told me. It's a very specific type of design. I mean, it's a high price manual wind watch, it's ceramic. There's a number of things in there that may put off potential buyers, but I think it might be a sleeper. So I'm looking forward to picking this one up, hopefully in the near future. Maybe it's a bit of a future classic. It certainly worked well on my wrists, and it gave me a really nice warm feeling, which when you stick that watch on, it gives you that warm feeling. That's all you need, regardless of what else it does for you. But ask yourself this: do you want a Speedmaster Professional? Do you want the Moonwatch? If the answer is yes, then go and buy one. They're one of the best value Swiss watches out there, and they're packed with so much history, you can't go wrong, and you'll enjoy it for life. And which version you choose is up to you. I'm 50 next year, so I'm holding out for the Apollo 15 50th anniversary. Or maybe I'll go back and buy a used 35th anniversary Apollo 15 version, which has some of the gold highlights. Now I like that one too. Or maybe I'll just go back and buy a birth watch from 1971. The options are just limitless. There's just simply no wrong answer, and you will not be disappointed. Now, I've referenced a number of sources in this video, as I said at the start, and I'll leave the links to some of those sources in the description. So thanks to everyone that I've mined information off, and this isn't me with some superior knowledge of Speedmasters. Yeah, some of this is observational. I've had conversations with my authorised dealer. I've scanned the forums and seen what people are saying about it. I've obviously got my own experiences with the watch as well, and obviously very passionate about this watch. So over the last couple of years since I've had it, I've collected information myself. But pulling this together today for you guys, and I've even taken some notes, so you might notice that I'm glancing down occasionally. I can't help it because I'm no actor, and trying to memorise lines that I've only literally just written is obviously a challenge. So anyway, this has been the English Watch. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave comments after the video, check some of the links. Please check out my Amazon affiliate links as well. It all helps the channel grow, and please check out my other videos. Anyway, this has been the English Watch. Have a lovely day. Goodbye now. Cup of tea, can't beat it.